Good morning.
6 years ago, I walked into a room about 5 minutes late, took a bite of sandwich, and Eddie Wells knows what I'm getting ready to say. Leo Mulcahy nominated me to be chairman of the Utilities and Sites Subcommittee of this group, and so that's why you're privileged to hear me speak this morning. There's several folks in here that are part of that group in addition to Mr. Mulcahy. Teresa Hammond, I believe Darlene helped serve on that, and at the time we worked pretty hard on identifying the existing sites that were in the community, and came to a realization very quickly that those sites weren't prospect ready. And that's not anything that's just a challenge that we have here locally. The Roanoke Valley and Best Group over there have been working on that issue for quite some time. They developed the RIFA to address that approximately 11 years ago. Or I'm sorry, in approximately 2011. And they're just getting ready to start work at Third Lane Road on site development there. So it's not a challenge we have solely in the Highlands. It's a challenge everywhere. But as part of our work here, we went through a process, utilized some engineering folks and firms to develop cost estimates, and identified the sites and the challenges that were associated with bringing those sites up to a prospect-ready status. And one of the big topics that has always been discussed is the availability of natural gas in Lowmore to our commerce center. So we went through a process, and again, Mr. Mulcahy worked very closely on this, of identifying a pipe solution where we would bring natural gas from an existing transmission line, or even the concept of bringing compressed natural gas in and developing a small distribution system in the Lowmore area. Both of those economically are not feasible in today's market. And what we found is that the construction of either method of delivering natural gas would result in almost $1 million subsidy to operations once complete. So we had to come to the realization that if we develop the site in the Commerce Center, it's going to have to be around and focused on industry that's not necessarily wedded to the need for natural gas. And with John's good help, we developed a resource profile for the region. Probably the most important thing in my mind that came out of our work when we developed all the cost estimates, realized that we did not have a site ready if a prospect came on our doorstep today, was the creation of a joint revenue sharing agreement with the City of Covington. And for the City Council and the Board of Supervisors to sit down at the table and work together on this document, put that together is a testament to, I think, a change in the attitude of the Highlands and the fact that both of the governing bodies are working together on the issue. It's a work in progress. As I mentioned, the RIFA, which is the model we used to develop our joint revenue sharing agreement, that started in 2011. They still haven't turned over dirt on a site, but they're getting close. So it takes time. And we're working through a process now. We've hired a consultant with a grant through DHCD to do a site analysis. We know the sites and the priorities, and now we have to figure out how to fund the capital to make those investments. You've read the paper. You know the challenges that the local governments are facing. Just meeting the core government services in the Highlands, based on the comment that John made earlier. Population's declining. We have little revenue growth. And so the reality is we're going to need help at the local government level from outside funding sources to make those sites a reality. And without that help, it will be very challenging for the City of Covington and Alleghany County to do it alone. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but we're going to have to be creative in how we do it. John's going to talk about the folks that just recently located in Bottott's Greenfield Center. So if you look into the weeds at what happened there, Bottot brought their land to the equation, but some other folks helped with the funding piece and stood the building up, and was really what recruited Pratt Industries to that area. The other thing that we are challenged with here, what makes this area so great and so beautiful, is the topography. Right? When you're competing against the Roanoke valleys and the Shenandoah valleys of the world, their ability to develop sites comes at a much lower cost than ours. So what we love about this area, and the beauty in the mountains, also presents challenges. And so we've developed an engineering estimate to develop a pad in our Commerce Center, but it carries a steep price tag. It's $100,000 per acre to grade that site out. It's a lot of earth to move, but again, that's why we're all here, right? Those mountains brought us to the area, but it's also challenging to prepare those sites. One of the things that we've done recently that ties into the sites, we've just finished our comprehensive plan. Again, a joint effort with the City of Covington. John mentioned our declining population. Our goal is to have, by year 5, just adopted the comprehensive plan, have net zero loss, and then begin to gain population slowly. So part of that is the sites, the availability of growth from an economic development perspective, capital investment, job creation, giving opportunities to folks, but then also the ability to have housing and market rate housing, new housing stock for people, so we don't continue to have out-migration of folks to areas that are doing that. So the Board of Supervisors, in cooperation with the town of Clifton Forge and the City of Covington and Iron Gate, retained a consultant to do a market rate housing analysis of the area. Our hope is to try to use that document to encourage developers to come to the area and invest in the construction of new housing based on out-migration of workers we currently have, and then also hopefully the opportunity to draw workers from the incredible success that our friends in Botetourt have had in Greenfield and the number of jobs created there. With the improvements to 220 that will be complete in a few years, that transportation aspect will make a commute from Greenfield to the Highlands much easier, and hopefully those folks, instead of traveling south through exit 150 through Botetourt High School traffic on 81 trying to get into the Roanoke Valley, will take a left and head north on 220 to new housing in the Highlands. So I appreciate the opportunity to have been working on this project. Mary mentioned something earlier. We're all here because we love this place. It's a special place, and I'm very, very hopeful for a good future here. Thank you, Don.